Let's talk about some free ways that you can gather content ideas. I think that's really important. So let's cover some free ways to gather content ideas. Now, Shreya, we are going to use ChatGPT. I'm sure many of you have heard about it. There are other AI tools out there, but ChatGPT is a great one to use. So
yes.
through
So
OpenAI.
we're a big fan of ChatGPT, and we use it day in and day out. Partly because I'm lazy, and because I like to get a head start on my content creation piece. So you will notice we'll give you a few prompts. We also have a few prompts that we're going to give you just so you could get started on your content creation process. But we're going to start out by something brand new, right? You picked a product within a ClickBank, and you're going in and saying, how do I start promoting this? Or how do I start building up my account to get to this? So here's a prompt that we can go in and type. Now, can you please help me? Now, remember, we think that AI is going to take over the world, so we're always nice and say please and thank you to our AI.
You got to be sweet to the AI. That's very important that you're sweet to the AI because, we don't know what's going to happen. They may take over the world someday.
Right, so we always use please and thank you, right? So we said, can you please give me or help me come up with 10 IG post ideas about content marketing and driving organic traffic? Now, if it's underlined, that means you can plug in your stuff.
Right, it could be dogs. It could be, could you tell me 10 IG post ideas about training your dog, or 10 ideas to lose weight fast? Or, you get the idea, right? Plug and play your niche or whatever you're promoting, and you're good to go.
Right, so if you plug that into ChatGPT, in the next slide, you'll see what it spits out. It spits out 10 different ideas. Just like that,
10
right?
different ideas. Now, I will say, don't feel like you need to screenshot everything here, because what's happening is we are actually going to be giving you these slides at the end of this. So just keep that in mind. We do want you to screenshot and take some notes where things are important, but just keep in mind, we'll give you these slides. We're not expecting you to read all this data. We're just showing that in a matter of seconds.
Right.
In fact, it's taken us longer to explain it than it is for you to just do all this. But if you, again, I'm going to tell you guys a thing that you need to remember. When it comes to AI, garbage in, garbage out. Think that through your head. Anytime you're using AI, garbage in, garbage out. So if you give good input, you're going to get great outputs. Just like a relationship. If you give good inputs, you're going to get a great output from that relationship. So keep that in mind with your AI, that you are forming a relationship with, that you give them good inputs so you get the right outputs. So that's why we're really heavy on the prompts and what you feed the AI machine. Now, Shreya, go ahead with this.
Right, so out of those 10 ideas, I picked number 3. I said, hey, let's create a carousel post for optimizing blog content for search engines, right? And it said include images and all that. But first, I need to create the carousel post. And before I even create it, a graphic for it, I need to come up with the content for it. So I go into ChatGPT again and say, hey, can you please give me 5 tips? And notice, I just copied and pasted from the prompt. It says, for 5 tips for optimizing blog content for search engines. That's all I did, and I put that back into ChatGPT.
So you just took content. Now, just so you guys see it, of those 10 results, Shreya keyed in on one of those and then said, can you give me 5 of these tips so that we can expand it? A lot of people just take ChatGPT for what it does initially, and they don't take these extra few seconds. These literally take seconds, right? It's taking us minutes to explain it, but it takes seconds for you to see it.
And it's all one chat. You're not opening a brand new chat every single time. It's all in one. So it goes in, I entered that prompt, and it gave me 5 different things. And not only did it give me the 5 different content, but it also explained each one of them, which is great. But I didn't want all the explanation. So I just took out the 5 different things that, research and use relevant keywords, write high-rated content. So I just took those out.
Yep, and these are the 5 things that she keyed in on that came from that. Now, here's a really important AI prompt tip that I want you to understand, is that there's oftentimes many different ways that we could say the same exact keyword. Now, I feel like stirring up a little bit of debate because engagement counts. It's really important. So I would like to see, some of us call Baby Yoda because to me that's what he is, right?
He's Baby Yoda people.
Yeah, he's definitely Baby Yoda.
Yeah, we're Baby Yoda.
Some people though think it's Grogu. Some people think it's the child, right? Well, that's 3 different ways to name the same character. You need to do the same thing when you're doing AI. Now, I do want to see in the chat what you all think it should be called, but I would love to see that happen because engagement's great. But the thing that we really want to key in on and help you understand is that there might be 3 or 4 different ways to say the same thing to your AI, and you might not like the first output. So you might go, what's another keyword people search for or similar phrase that's similar to this? Because that's going to really enhance the output that you're getting from the AI tool. And it's amazing. And yikes, some of these comments coming in.
Someone said Grogu, no.
Okay. So,
Baby Yoda. Okay, so we take that. Now we have those 5 things for the carousel post, right? Now we need to write a caption for it as well. And I'm not going to sit there and write the caption myself. So I go back in and say thank you, because remember, we're going to remember our please and thank yous, right? That's what I tell my 7-year-old. So thank you. Can you write an IG caption? Now you can change that. If you're not doing an IG post, you can put Facebook, you can put LinkedIn, whatever you want. So caption for me for this post. Please make the tone funny, witty, and informational. And this is something that people forget, because then it becomes all robot gibberish thing comes out, right? So you could pick the tone. You could even say, hey, I want you to write this like Tony Robbins would. Or you can put a person in there, or you could put the tone that you normally sound like. I am more of a funny, witty, informational type of person.
Yeah, and I'm more excited, in case you guys didn't understand that. So I always say, write it excited, because, you know, that's what I do. So that's how we do it. So you just put in your tones. Now, this is what came out of this. Like, look at this.
Yes.
This is a post, right, for social media?
This is what it gave to me. And it has all my emojis. It has hashtags in there. Now, again, if you don't like what it spit out the first time, there is a little button, the circle button, that you can click and regenerate the idea again. So it's not the end of the world. Or if out of all entire post, if there's one sentence that you don't like, you can personally go back and rewrite that one. But overall, this is a great starting point, because now you're not sitting there trying to spin your wheels of what do I write. You're not looking at a blank sheet of paper anymore, right?
Right. And you still need to make sure, to make AI most effective, you want to write it in a way that it's going to portray like your voice in a sense, right? You still want to do that, but this really, really gets you somewhere fast. And again, this is really cool stuff. Like, this should get you guys really excited, because we're showing you how to make these things. Now, this slide to me is probably one of the coolest pieces of this. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better and better and better.
Right. So it is the same chat again. I haven't changed the chat, right? So I go in and say, hey, this is great. Can you please give me 15 more hashtags for my post? And it spit out 15 more. Now you can put in 10 more, 20 more, however many you want. So it'll give you, and then you can pick the best ones that you like from it. But these are the list of 15 more hashtags that I could use
and
in my post.
At least gives you a starting point, because on Instagram, as you're going through and making your post, right, they'll tell you how many people are using these hashtags. So there's still some analysis you need to do. Hashtags still work some of the time. Hashtags are great. The other thing that works really well is having keyword-rich content in your post. And so this method solves both of those scenarios. So you maximize through hashtags, you maximize your organic traffic through what's in there, and it works really, really well. Now, a lot of this is all about prompts, and if you guys wait till the end, we're actually going to give you a way to get access to a whole bunch of other prompts, right? Because we're telling you prompts here. There's a whole bunch of other prompts. So go ahead.
Yeah, so there's also a debate between hashtags, right? Recently, people said, no, you can't use 20 hashtags. You need to use 5 or less. So I Googled this, and there you go. 2 different responses within like this year. One was January of this year, and one was April of this year, where one said 3 to 5 is the limit. The other said 20 hashtags. So which one is it? You just got to try for yourself. I've tried both and see what works for you, really. Like, don't you get so fixated in what the guru said. Just try it out for yourself.
Right. You need to test it out. You could listen to everything we say, but I'll tell you right now, if you don't implement or take action on what was said at ClickBank Summit, whether it's from us or any of the other speakers, I can guarantee you one thing: 0 action leads to 0 results. 0 leads, 0 traffic, 0 sales. Anytime there's a landing page that's not published, that means 0 traffic, 0 leads, 0 sales. That's the only guarantee in marketing, is that if you do nothing, nothing will happen. So keep that in mind. Make sure that we're taking action and steps of action everywhere we go. Now, I love how you continue down this path with ChatGPT.
I did.
Continue
so I created the first post of the 5 different carousel posts, and I said there was number 5 also that said, hey, share a quote about a thought leader in the content marketing space and explain how you found it inspiring or insightful. So I said, why not? I'm in the middle of creating content, so why not? Let's just go ahead and create it. So I did the same thing. I said, could you please help me find a quote? Again, I copied and pasted the entire prompt in there, and it gave me an answer.
Right, and this answer was a real quote. You even said, could you give me another one?
I did.
To actually expand on it.
So what ended up happening, and this is where the human touch is very, very important, and I left this in here, was because it gave me a quote, and I wanted to do my own checking to make sure that it was a quote from the right person, and it wasn't. I couldn't find that person ever saying that. So I went back and said, hey, could you give me another one? And it gave me another one, which ended up being from that person. So it was true, and that's why it's very important. Yes, you're getting content from AI, but you have to be the judge. You are the expert, so you always have to check.
Yeah, you always have to check on that. That's really, really important that we are checking on those things, because it's super important, because sometimes ChatGPT will go off the rails a little bit, and it's very, very important. Now, here's 3 other ways to gather content ideas if you don't want to use AI all the way. You can actually go into Google and simply just start typing in, dog training, and then watch all the results that come in, or cordless paint sprayer, or the list goes on, whatever it is you're marketing or selling, supplements, or you could drop in health supplements, and then see all the keywords. Google will also say things like people also searched for this. Right. You can use Google's keyword planner tool to come up with keywords as well. The other great one is Quora. I love that website, Quora.com. You can go there, type in your keyword, and actually get a whole list of questions people have. Then you can throw those into ChatGPT to get additional prompts. Or we've got a list of over 50 really cool prompts we use in our business.